Hi, John.
What up, my guy?
How have you? Where the hell have you? Oh, I know where you've been. I know where the fuck you've been up to.
I've been a cripple.
You've been a cripple. If you hear random noises in the background, that is Donut being a crackhead cat. Hold on, I got you, Donut. So how's your fucking leg?
It's healing. It's been like... How long has it been? Because, time it kind of... It goes slow.
It goes slow. It's been a few months. You told me.
I finally... It hasn't been a few months. It's been since... It happened January 30th.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it?
Hey, it's been a long, grueling time, man.
All right.
February was tough.
Yeah. We gotta do these more and just like bullshit
For like the
around.
first 2 weeks, I couldn't walk.
No, I believe it. I remember
You
that.
saw me. I was on the
You were like,
crutches.
how the hell were you moving?
I was on the scooter.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was like it's just I don't know how to explain the pain. I
bad.
wouldn't wish it on nobody.
No, I don't blame you at
I
all.
saw a doctor. I got a boot. I apparently it's a major injury, but it's looking up.
You tore a crap ton of ligaments, that's for sure.
Yeah, on the thigh. Some of them
for some
are things
reason.
that not even every human being has.
And I called, and we just today we managed to hang up a fucking sort of new TV.
I'm a beast.
Yeah, on one leg, sort of one leg.
It's all in the arms, man.
And then in that spare time, we got a notification from ESPN and our friends at U Stadium.
An all-time great NFL
All-time
trade.
phenomenal trade. By the way, Jack's coming on later on in the episode. So if you're interested in listening, well, I'll be sure to put timestamps in this whole thing. So Jack is mad. Jack is mad.
Hey, if I was a Rams fan, I'd be fucking pissed too.
Oh, of course, of course. Jack is pissed. So, in context of what happened, Jalen Ramsey, who the Rams acquired from the Jacksonville Jaguars for 2 firsts and a second-round pick, if my memory serves me correct, from the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2019.
Yeah, I think it was
18 or 19. I'm not sure.
One of them.
It was 19. I think it was 19. Because 18 they went to the Super Bowl.
No, 17 they went to the Super Bowl. Not the Conference Championship.
Yeah.
It's 18 they were supposed to be really good, but they all ended up hating each other. Remember that?
No,
year?
that's not right. Hold on. No, that's not right.
17 was the Conference Championship.
No, the Jaguars?
Yeah.
The Jaguars, they went to the conference
17.
title game.
18 was they were all hated each other,
And then
by
19
19
they blew it up. That's right.
I remember there was the year they were all there together, but everyone was hating each other.
So what happened was Jalen Ramsey, who also signed a massive 5-year extension with Los Angeles, helped the Rams get to helped them win a Super Bowl. Has now been traded, basically for
a 3rd round pick and Hunter Long.
Basically a 3rd string tight end and a 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
That actually happened.
And chances are that 3rd round pick they draft could become a 3rd stringer too.
Possibly. Because, to quote Jack, Les Snead, who's the general manager of the Rams, should be fired. Should be fired.
Absolutely.
You can't fuck this up that bad.
He's going to be fired when they go 5-12 this season.
Oh my god. That gives me hope to win the division as a Seahawk fan. That gives me hope.
Still the 49ers.
Watch the Niners just completely collapse.
They're going to start Trey Lance.
They're going to start Trey because they had no choice.
They're going to.
They're going to start Trey Lance, and
I don't think he's that good.
but his ceiling is RG3.
Yeah.
His ceiling is RG3, but even then, what is that?
I feel like he was a waste of a pick.
Okay, so back to the Rams. You traded for Stafford. You traded for Ramsey. You signed a Ndamukong, so he's skedaddled out of there.
Yeah, Ramsey's out, and Stafford is coming off a neck injury.
Stafford's coming off a severe neck injury.
I don't expect him to be as productive as he was in 2021 coming
And it gets
off a
better.
neck injury.
It gets better. Leonard Floyd, cut. Allen Robinson, possibly traded. Bobby Wagner, released. Michael Brockers. Well, he's gone, but he's been gone.
It's a mass exodus.
Sean Robinson, released. You're blowing it up because of what? What?
You can't win.
You missed the playoffs for 1 year and you blow it up? That's it?
Yeah.
That's what you do?
Your starting quarterback goes down with a neck injury, you're not making the playoffs.
No, I don't care if you start Baker Mayfield or whatnot. By the way, they did sign Baker Mayfield, but...
Yeah, which means he's gonna end up getting some starts over Stafford.
Probably, yeah.
How old is Stafford? He's pretty old.
35.
Coming off a neck injury.
I want to say 35.
And he's had a lot of injuries with Detroit because they didn't protect him.
Here we go.
He's
the
hobbling.
Vikings are open business the Vikings are open for business to move Dalvin Cook and them forth. Wow, here's the Dolphins are traded for Tyreek Hill, Bradley Chubb, and Jalen Ramsey all in the first year. Wow.
Wow.
Devin Bush is a free agent. Wow. What a fucking crazy year. And this is even great. This is better. Who's the new defensive coordinator in Miami? Vic Fangio. This is fucking beautiful. The Dolphins are going to win the AFC East, are they?
The Dolphins actually have a chance.
Oh my god.
Notice how my face lit up as soon as you said who the defensive coordinator was?
Wow.
They actually are going to be a pretty damn good team.
And they might get Aaron Rodgers.
At this point, they may as well.
Someone bank on the Dolphins, please. Quick, someone bet on the Dolphins, please.
Do you think Tua and a couple first could land them Rodgers?
I would take Tua.
In a couple first?
I would take Tua, but then again, I would have Geno.
No, I'm saying for Rodgers.
I was saying, if you trade for Rodgers, you're trading Tua.
Yeah, you are. And a couple first, and they could do that. They have flexibility.
But they also drafted Jordan Love, so...
I would rather have Tua than Love.
Yeah, good point. That's a fair point, actually.
Yeah, I think Tua's... I would rather...
What are you doing, Donut? Don't you touch this Roadcaster.
She's about to jump over.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Thank you. Thank you, Donut.
Be good.
Don't be a little piss ass.
Uh-oh, she's going onto the couch.
Oh, she's going on the couch. There she goes. She's been farting like crazy. She really has. She's gassy.
Was it a stomach ulcer?
No, it's not. No,
ulcer.
It was an eye ulcer. That's why her eye's like that.
Yeah.
It's an eye ulcer.
Okay, going on me means she's trying to get to something.
Or she's trying to rest on you. There she goes. There she goes. But I have a question for you. Also, speaking of, we can move the tower. I got you.
She's decided on her territory.
No, don't you dare cut the wire, bitch! Don't get the wire. You little piss ass.
No winning.
No winning with cats eventually. But
They decide they're going to go on you when they want to go on you.
I have a question for you. So I have invented a little thing called the quarterback poker table. Hear me out for a second. Hear me out. There are 8 teams at this poker table. And each team is represented by a certain player. Okay? You obviously got the Panthers, who have the first overall pick, and Texans have the second pick
Yep.
in this draft process.
And both of them are going to take a quarterback.
Both of them are guaranteed to take one of C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young. One of them's taking one, the other one's taking the other.
Yep.
That's guaranteed. Okay? You know that they have the full house or the royal flush or whatever in the poker table. You know they have that. Then you get to teams like Indianapolis, who have the full house, but they're not willing to do it, or they just don't know what the fuck they're doing in the poker table. Then you get the Falcons then you get the Falcons and the Bucks who are like, I don't know what the fuck we're doing, we're just there. I don't know if Tampa's in that spot. I think the Raiders and the Ravens, Baltimore and Vegas, are the teams that want to bet, but are too cheap to do so.
What I've concluded about the Ravens personally from this Lamar Jackson thing is
They're cheap.
They're simply they're not a quarterback team.
No, they're not.
Hear me out. Ray Lewis, they were going to roll out the Brinks truck for Ray Lewis.
They brought out the Brinks truck for
Ed Reed, they brought the Brinks truck. Terrell Suggs, you know what it is? They like to pay defense. I don't think their ownership...
They did it for Flacco, though. That's the weird part.
Because only after he won a Super Bowl they did it.
They did it for Flacco, but they didn't do it until July.
Yeah, they took a damn long time for a guy who...
It took a long time to sign Flacco.
And that was because they had nobody... that situation, they had to. Flacco negotiated.
They had no choice.
I feel like Lamar could stay a Raven, but it's going to be drawn out like Flacco is drawn out.
Yes.
They don't pay quarterbacks.
Here's the problem, though, with the Ravens situation.
There's no defensive players worth paying.
No, it's not even that. It's... The problem with the Ravens is that they're cheap as shit when it comes to offensive players. You saw they paid $20 million a year to Roquan Smith.
Yeah. Defense? Oh, we'll roll it out.
Yeah, defensive guys will roll it out. Marlon Humphrey, same shit.
Yeah.
Chuck Clark, terrible example, but like Kyle Hamilton,
they pay defense.
Marcus Williams, they did it to defensive guys, but
they don't pay offensive players.
The Raiders are a weird one. They're the cheap ones because Mark Davis didn't exactly inherit all of his father's.
However, now that they're in Las Vegas, they're essentially printing money.
Depends.
Vegas, you print money because they're always going to sell out and you're always going to be a hot ticket because it's a tourist hotspot and you have gambling.
Fair point. That's actually a pretty good point. And the Athletics are going to go to Vegas too.
That's a place you print money.
And then the NBA is going to have it. And then the NBA is going to have Vegas, and then they're going to Seattle.
Guess what? Everyone's looking at the Golden Knights and the Raiders printing money.
That's true. And then you get Atlanta. Then you get the Falcons at the poker table.
I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Exactly. The Falcons are I don't know what we're doing, but we're just rolling with it. That's the Falcons.
I think they're going to try to wait till next year to draft a quarterback.
Caleb Williams.
They might be bad enough. The Falcons could be bad enough.
Then we're back to Tampa, which is in we're good, but we're also not good, so we're just rolling with something.
Tampa has too many holes in their roster.
They're the seasoned veteran of the poker table.
They would be best off trading their veterans for more draft picks to try to build a new core. They won their Super Bowl, and they're all getting older. They're a team who needs to acquire some top-end draft picks.
Would you call the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the seasoned veteran of the poker table who is trying really hard to stay relevant?
They were only really relevant for 2 years.
2 or 3 years, yeah, good point.
They were not really that relevant this year.
Yeah, fair point.
The most relevant thing about them was their quarterback's divorce.
Then you get Washington and the Patriots. Here's where it gets interesting in the poker table.
The Patriots are evil.
The Patriots
geniuses.
might trade Mac Jones.
Look, with the Patriots, you can never count out because they are evil geniuses, and we all know it.
Yeah, and then you get Washington, who's in the
Dan Snyder bracket.
Who's in the realm of just secretly paying people off to win the game.
Washington.
That's Dan Snyder.
Except they're not winning the game.
No, they're just Dan Snyder.
Yeah, and that would be implying Washington's winning very many games.
I should have, when I made this graphic, I should have just put Dan Snyder's face on there.
Well, how do you describe the operations of the Washington football team / Commanders / whatever? /
Foreskins.
Yeah,
the Deadskins.
There's just so many things you could say.
There's so much crap you can decide from here.
I don't even, yeah.
But the Patriots are in a weird spot here. New England's in a really weird position.
Because nobody knows what they'll do.
No one knows. However, they hired Bill O'Brien to be the offensive coordinator, and that's a great hire. See, she's chilling on you. Dawn's chilling on you.
Yeah, now
she has the cat vibe.
Yeah, because she played, and now she's probably tired.
Yeah. And the Colts are a weird, weird team. It's weird. They could trade Quentin Nelson or Ryan Kelly, realistically. Like, if the Colts were to come to me and say, hey, we'll give you Ryan Kelly or Quentin Nelson for a first-round pick, I would take it.
I would take it.
I would say, okay, I'll give you the 20th pick and another draft pick in exchange for Ryan Kelly or Quentin Nelson. Who the fuck says no?
I would never say no to that.
Exactly. Because you need to... The Seahawks are not in this poker table, but they're essentially in that weird poker table.
They'll be at it next year.
They'll be at it next year for the quarterback market, probably. Or they'll just draft somebody.
Gino is pretty old. I think realistically...
He's 32. He's 32 and his contract is not that bad.
Yeah, you're probably going to get 2 more good years out of him.
If you look at the rest of the contract, it's 3 years, $75 million.
You'll probably get 2 solid years and 1 meh year, and then after that, it's up in the air.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But that buys them a lot of time.
It really does. It really does.
That's a lot of football games to be played. And that's multiple training camps that has them covered for.
Speaking of the quarterback market, the Bears had the first overall pick.
I know what you're...
And they decided to trade it away because Ryan Poles, the GM, flexed his muscles and put on his sunglasses and said, fuck you. Give me Justin Fields.
The Carolina Panthers might be the stupid...
You trade DJ Moore. Okay, I understand what Carolina's doing because... You traded you traded some draft picks to get the first overall pick, which you had.
You're going to draft a quarterback, but you just traded the best wide receiver.
You traded your best offensive player away for what?
And you're going to draft a rookie quarterback, but you trade the best wide receiver on the team, and you plan on doing that? That's fucking stupid. It was stupid when Dave Gettleman did it. It's stupid now. You don't do that.
I'm going to look up the Panthers depth chart for shits and giggles.
We all know.
Oh, dear Lord. Preston Williams is there. Terrence Marshall, Laviska Shenault, Shee Smith, Andre Roberts, who's a free agent. Andre Roberts and Rashard Higgins. Dear Lord.
All right.
Bradley Bozeman's a free agent. I had no idea.
You know, they might end up getting the Panthers might have a bad enough team where they could get the number 1 overall pick and then trade it to a team that wants Caleb Williams and recoup their lost value. It's going to be terrible if you're a Panthers fan to watch them this year. They thought last year was bad. This might be a worse version of last year's team.
Oh, God. I mean, that's the weird part, because Frank Reich is not a bad coach. Frank Reich isn't really a bad coach.
But he's not going to turn chicken shit into chicken salad.
I want chicken salad, actually. I imagine I really want some chicken salad. I want to go to Firehouse so bad, just be like, give me some chicken salad, like some low chicken salad.
That shit slaps.
Oh my god. I would want that. Dude, the Seahawks are in New York this year. They played the Giants this year. We're fucking going. Absolutely.
We're going.
Not even close, we're going.
We're going, man.
We're going. If anyone says we're not going, we're fucking going.
We'll make a thing. We'll do a sports trip every now and then. That's a must.
Yeah, we might as well. What? Stop. Noises. Stop, please.
I mean, when the Giants are good, I have no issue going out to a game.
No, I don't blame you at all.
Because Jersey's a pain in the ass to get to from here, but for once a year, it's nothing.
I mean, Jersey's really not that terrible to get to when you think about it, right?
It's more
probably because I went to Connecticut a lot.
On game day, it is.
On game day, it's a pain in the dick.
On game day,
watch it be a Monday night game. If it's a Monday night game, how bad is it going to be?
We'll take the train and we'll just take off work.
That Tuesday?
Probably that Monday and Tuesday.
Probably that Monday and Tuesday. You and I could probably do it.
Because we'd have to get to there.
We'd have to get to
MetLife. Get there before kickoff, because if you try to get there right before kickoff, you're going to be pretty much in a massive sea of people.
A massive sea of stupidity.
The sea of drunken New Yorker stupidity. That if you get caught in the wave, maybe I'm part of the wave.
You might be.
Hey, maybe at the Nets games I am.
Yeah.
I'm pretty well behaved.
For the most part.
I just get a little drunk. But that's what happens when your section is right behind the rum and coke stand.
Yeah. I got another question for you. Boston currently just clinched the playoffs. They clinched the playoffs last night at 105 points or some shit.
I don't know how they're so fucking good this year.
Watch them lose in the first round.
That would be a better night.
If we've learned anything from Tampa, it's I don't care how many goals you score. Yeah, you're fine. I don't care how many goals you score. If you're out physical, you're fucked.
Yep.
You're fucked.
I feel like the playoffs can expose teams.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I feel like Boston could hold up in a 7-game series. It's really a question of
who they play.
Who do they play?
Raise your hand. They play the Islanders. Who knows? I'm not even saying as a biased fan. I'm saying out of sheer confidence.
Islanders would have to hold them to less than 2 goals a game.
Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be fun.
To win that series, the Islanders would have to hold them to less than 2 goals a game.
That would be fun. That's going to be fun.
Because the Islanders can't score goals at the
Actually, they can. They could score like 3 or 4 a game, but now they can. But like
in a 7-game playoff series,
the Bo Horvat trade proved that they can do it. They really can do it, Bo Horvat.
The issue with Boston could score a lot when they're on.
That's true. They're like 3 lines.
They could score like Wilt Chamberlain, and I'm not talking about buckets.
Did you mention something to me?
What about
that? One of the players that played in today's NBA looks like a son of Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, Otto Porter.
I'm gonna look that up now. Otto Porter?
Otto Porter Jr.
Otto Porter Jr. Give me a second.
Yeah, look up Otto Porter, Wilt Chamberlain. And tell me, there's no way it ain't his kid.
That's right.
No way it ain't his kid.
No way, that's not his kid. Otto Porter Jr. may be the long lost son of Wilt Chamberlain. That might be right.
Yeah. Like when he first got into the league, everyone was saying it.
Yeah.
It doesn't help him because of Wilt's autobiography.
Oh my god.
Is Wilt a G or not for writing about his accomplishments in his autobiography?
I don't remember on the scene of Titanic where Leonardo DiCaprio was snorting cocaine off of what's his face? Leonardo DiCaprio, Titanic.
He was railing the blow.
Cocaine scene. Let me Google this real quick.
That's a movie that's hard to sit through, man.
Titanic?
So long. So serious. I like James Cameron's later works.
No scene.
Oh, she's a slee.
Kate Winslet's not bad looking, though.
Not at all.
Especially in 97, she wasn't that bad looking. God bless her. God bless her sometimes. Before we get going for this segment, I have a rant to make. Look at modern movies today.
They're trash.
They're fucking awful.
They're trash.
They're terrible. Awful.
They're trash.
Okay, I'm gonna read you the book. Okay, look, because at the thrift store, I found these movies for like $1 or $2 each. The most expensive one was like $4, and it was Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End.
Hollywood's dying, man.
Yeah, Hollywood's been dying. Okay, I read you Madagascar, Kung Fu Panda is better than all the movies released today. Think about that shit. When Kung Fu Panda is a better movie today than every single movie made today, you are doing something wrong.
These writers don't really write; they just.
Okay.
Like you could probably get one of those AI websites to write a better script.
ChatGPT.
If we should make a movie, but have a script be written by AI.
That'd be interesting.
Or I'll write the script. Or we see what would work better.
That'd be very interesting. That would be interesting.
I don't think that we could air a movie I direct.
No, God, no. Okay, look at the movies on the rack right there. Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. You've seen that movie, right?
Yeah, of course.
Fucking phenomenal. You watched that movie. You watched that movie. That movie's almost 20 years old. That movie actually is 20 years old. Think about that shit. Watch that movie today and then watch something from today's film.
The only good movies that come out these days are from directors or actors or things that were established before.
Or shitty remake.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times the remake is not good.
They remade fucking something. I can't remember. Like, okay. Great example. Star Wars. Great example. Star Wars. We grew up with Star Wars. Okay, and then when when Disney bought Lucasfilms, I said to myself, okay, this is gonna be really good or really bad. When the shows that they made are better than the actual fucking movies of the storyline, there's nothing wrong with that. But like, okay, Force Awakens was the best one out of the sequels.
Yeah, but it was a copy of the first one.
Was it?
What, Force Awakens and New Hope were almost the same movie.
Oh my god, you're right.
Think about it. They just took New Hope and
oh my god, you're right.
CGI'd it up.
Oh my god, you're fucking right.
You didn't realize that when you watched it? I remember watching that movie in a theater and I realized...
My whole life has been a lie.
I realized it was a remake without being a remake.
My whole life has been a lie. We have a problem.
See, I thought it was intentional that they made it seem like a remake.
See...
It wasn't supposed to be a remake?
They had such an opportunity to do something fucking phenomenal with those three movies, and they fucked it up.
Wait, I'm mind blown.
So
I thought
boring.
Force Awakens was meant to be a remake of New Hope. It was not.
Oh god.
Because I watched that movie.
Here's another one. They're making a fifth Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah. And
do you remember watching the first
did you see the CGI they're going to use to make Harrison Ford look young?
Isn't he like 80?
They're going to use CGI to make him look younger.
Oh dear Lord.
It's going to be terrible.
Kill me now, please. Please kill me. Okay. Like I look at the movies that we have watched. Like, here's another. Princess Bride. Some people say it's a chick flick. Some people will say it's a chick flick. It is not. It's a phenomenal movie. Have you seen it?
No.
You've never seen Princess Bride?
I haven't.
Do me a favor.
I thought it was a chick flick.
Do me a favor. Go put on Disney Plus. It's on Disney Plus. Go watch it.
You have to buy Disney Plus.
Fuck you. Fine. It's at the thrift store for like $4 on DVD. Am I the only one who watches DVDs now?
You try driving with a boot on, man.
Am I the only one who has DVDs? That's true. It's a good point.
I'll put it this way: I can drive, but I can't stop.
You can't do the 2-footer thing. You
Not
can't do
my
2 feet?
car, because the boot is so big that I'll.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It doesn't help to have freaking big ass feet.
That's true.
I have size 13 wide.
You and me both. That's a problem.
Let me tell you, I was like in vacation in Florida or something, and I was like snorkeling, and I didn't even need the flippers because my damn feet were flippers. It's like no joke.
That's a fucking great point.
I'm a freak of nature.
Oh, you and me both. But you're taller than me too. Okay, Lion King.
I thought you were taller.
Lion King. No, you're taller than me. You're what are you, 6 foot?
I'm like 5'10".
I'm 5'10". Fuck. Fuck that. Lion King. They remade the Lion King.
Yeah, they shouldn't have. There's no reason.
Okay, here's another. Peter Pan. They're remaking Peter Pan.
Why?
You didn't see the trailer for this?
Yeah, I did, but why?
Like, they made the Lost Boys, and there's like 3 girls in the Lost Boys. Okay, no problem with that at all. They make them the Lost Children.
But the issue is they think that...
Stop making woke movies.
The problem with the woke movies
Stop it.
The thing is, the crazy thing about these woke movies is the problems with them are not even like the woke element, so you can't just be like, oh, they suck because they're woke movies. There's actual shitty scripts, like nonsensical plots.
It's always Disney,
horrible
too.
written
It is
movies.
always Disney.
I'm pretty sure Disney has...
It is always Disney. I can't stand it. It is always Disney.
I don't think Disney actually hires, like, real writers.
They just said, here, take Peter Pan and throw it in a blender and make it woke. I don't care. But stop. Please.
The way it'll stop is if people don't watch it.
Stop remaking a masterpiece.
If people don't watch it, it'll stop.
Stop it. Enough. Oh, Alabama won the SEC title. What? Alabama's a 1 seed?
Yeah, they were having the best basketball year in years.
Good for them. What else is going on here?
They had a better year in basketball than in football.
That says a lot.
They didn't win the SEC in football.
That says a lot. Yeah, they really didn't. What else happened? Oh, Adam Thielen's a free agent?
Yeah, he got released.
What?
You didn't see that? I guess I'm probably more on top.
Oh, delightful.
You know, now that I think about it, I see everything that happens now because I've been hobbled and not working.
Oh, Sterling Shepard's back, by the way. You're welcome.
I don't miss anything, man.
Oh, I know you don't.
I'm hobbled.
Good point.
I'm hobbled and not working.
We're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a quick break and we'll come back with Jack in a bit. And took a little bit, but Jack is here. John has stepped out, but Jack is here in his place, coming to us from California. Jack, you are pissed.
I'm here today to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly in the Los Angeles sports scene. And what we have seen today is the ugly.
Yeah.
This is okay. I'm gonna sound like I'm exaggerating, and I promise you, I'm not. The trade was. Let me find this really quick. I'm disgusted that I even have to read this again.
There were some really bad trades in NFL lore that we could go back into, like a lopsided deal in favor of one team. We could look into this.
We probably could.
We could make a whole episode, like a 2-hour show because of that. But we won't do that.
No. We'll go on a 2-hour show about this trade instead.
Probably. But as soon as U Stadium broke that deal, I called you. And I was like, what are the Rams doing?
That's what I said.
Yeah, what are they doing?
I screamed, what are we doing? When you hung up. Okay, here's the trade.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jalen Ramsey to Miami for a 3rd-round pick and Hunter Long.
Who's a 3rd-string tight end, by the way, for the Dolphins.
Oh my god. That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
How you don't get a 1st-round pick. If it was a 1st-round pick, I don't care about Hunter Long. Whatever. We need tight end depth. That's fine. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you don't get a 1st-round pick, a day 1 pick out of arguably the best cornerback, or at least the most consistent cornerback in the league for the last few years, what a joke.
Mm-hmm.
What a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is without question the worst trade that Les Snead has ever made.
Now, let's get the Rams fan perspective on this whole thing. Okay, hardcore Rams fan, you love your team. You will defend your team through and through. There's no doubt about that.
I can't defend them for this trade. I just can't.
No, you can't. Hold on.
Like...
There we go. I sound better now. But you have defended a lot of coaches, a lot of management in your lifetime. Does Les Snead survive the offseason?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Really?
You know, if I'm being totally honest, I think there is actually still a pretty good chance Les Snead survives the offseason because I think where the Rams go from here is a little bit of a mystery.
Yeah.
A little bit of an unknown. Before I delve too deep into that, I'm gonna start by once again reiterating, thank God this team won the Super Bowl. Thank God.
Yeah.
If they go into all of this offseason, and you saw what happened last year too, how terrible that was, and they don't have the ring to show for it,
Les Snead would have been fired already.
Yeah, Les Snead would have been out if he would have made this trade. It would have been done. And well, like, I'm beyond confident.
Because you remember the NFC is not great.
No.
This year. It's not going to be an entirely great conference this year.
It wasn't last year.
There is like 2 or 3 great teams in this conference, and then everyone else is kind of the same.
Like, you and I would probably agree in just the NFC West alone, the 49ers are there.
Sadly.
The Seahawks are going to get better.
Probably.
The Cardinals...
I like that Geno Smith deal. That was a good sign.
Great move. The Cardinals, no idea what they're doing. The Cardinals we have no idea what the Cardinals are going to do.
And I guess we have no idea what the Rams are going to do either.
Exactly. And then Green Bay, and then the NFC North.
At the very least, what I'm going to say about the Rams compared to the Cardinals is this. We have a foundation to build off of.
Yeah.
Because they've gotten it into their heads. Like, Sean McVay has said, there was like an interview I was reading that came out the other day about Sean McVay that was saying he's committed to this long term. Like, he specifically said he doesn't want this story of is he going to come back next year or not to be a thing that happens every single offseason. He said he is here for the long term.
Good.
I love to hear that.
Good.
Love to hear that.
You haven't had that in a long time.
I know. It's so relieving.
Yeah.
He's here long term. Stafford's here long term. Kupp is here long term. Donald's here long term. I don't know how much longer Donald has, but
I think Donald's got at least a couple more years left before he decides to hang it up.
Like I'm not saying he's gonna drop off or anything. He's Aaron fucking Donald, but like he's.
We might come back to this.
We have our pieces.
You have like 3 or 4 great pieces on this team.
You don't have like what's going on in Arizona. I don't even remember who the hell their head coach is.
Jonathan Gannon, by the way.
Wow.
I saw that hire. I was generally confused by that hire. I was generally confused.
Arizona, man.
And you look at the NFC North. You get Green Bay, which is a mess. Minnesota is in a fire sale. Detroit might be the best team in that division.
Unironically, you might be right.
And then there's Chicago, which is like Green Bay. They're just a mess right now.
I hated that trade they traded the first overall pick to Carolina.
That was such a stupid decision.
Like, I guess in a way it kind of makes sense.
I get what they're doing.
You want to be committed to Justin Fields.
I get what they're doing, but at the same time, you cannot pass on, Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. You cannot pass up on one of those two. You can't.
Yeah. There's just so much you can do with the first overall pick. Like, if you're not a quarterback needy team, I think it's kind of weird. Mm-hmm. Like my point is, I feel like they're in kind of a weird situation.
Like Tennessee was a few years ago. Exactly.
Like I can understand why they weren't like so gung ho on keeping the first overall pick.
And then you get the NFC South, which is like, okay, you got maybe the Saints win that division, and then you get everyone else.
The Saints, I feel like, are up there. I love Derek Carr going to the
Here's the problem, though: the Saints are getting rid of everyone. Cameron Jordan's going to be gone. Marcus Davenport's going to be gone. Demario Davis is going to be gone. Marshawn Lattimore's going to get traded. Michael Thomas has been gone.
You know who should have been gone is Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas, Mr. 5-yard out, should have been gone years ago.
Yeah. That was a dumb extension.
And then...
It was just not good at all.
3/4 of your offensive line is going to be free agents, by the way. Let's be clear with that. They might get rid of Ryan Ramczyk.
Yeah, I mean...
So in reality, what are the Saints really?
Dude, like, fuck's sake. This is going to be wild.
I'm going to love this offseason, man. I'm going to love it.
It's going to be a wild, wild offseason. So, back to my original point with the Rams, though.
Yeah.
That I was going to say before, like...
You don't have a terrible team.
What they need... The only way I can, like, be somewhat at peace with... Well, I say somewhat at peace against Super Bowl, but, like... Sign Odell, please. You were at his workout. You're showing interest. Sean McVay actually did say the other day, too, that they were keeping an eye on that situation. You have cap space. Sign the man.
Now you have cap space.
Yeah, now we have cap space. You might as well. Because if you're going to get rid of the best and most consistent quarterback in the league, who has been a cornerstone of your team for the since he came here in 2019, it's like... Do something with it. Do something with that cap space. Because I firmly believe that this situation that the Rams are in was avoidable. I really do. I feel like if this roster had stayed healthy last season,
yep,
they're at least making a run. I don't know how far, but they're making a run.
Jake Ellenbogen on Twitter, JK Bogan on Twitter.
Love that guy. Love that Jake.
Awesome. Also Alexis, fantastic. Legitimately one of the worst trades I've ever seen. Shamefully, really. Hunter Long is a third-round pick from 2021. That is one career catch. You get another third-rounder for a guy who is the top cornerback in the league and one you spent 2 first-rounders on.
You need a first-rounder.
That's what confuses me. You spent 2 first-round picks on a guy who you needed, let's be clear.
Yeah.
And
it's funny, too, because at the time the Jalen Ramsey trade got made,
I was confused when they first made that trade.
I wasn't confused, but it felt like a bit of a desperation move. He had 2 years, I think, left on his deal, and it's just like, or he was in the middle of the second to last year on his deal. 2020 was going to be the last year, and then he got an extension that offseason. But, like, at the time that trade was made, the Rams, it was 2019, they were getting slammed with injuries. Both
Talib and Peters were out.
Talib wasn't traded yet, but he was about to be. He was on IR, and it's just like at that point, the Rams had to make a move to kind of save their season, and they didn't save their season, but Jalen Ramsey certainly helped. And so like long term, obviously that trade turned out to be a massive win. I won't argue that, but it's just I just find that funny because at the time it was viewed as like, what are they doing? They're throwing away their first-round picks in a year where they might not even make the playoffs.
Here's another idea for this whole thing. You realistically, if you have a good offseason, you can make the playoffs. Because who knows what San Francisco is going to be like next year? You have no idea what they're going to be like.
I think they're going to be a mess.
You think so too?
It's time for people to start giving the 49ers the same treatment that the Rams have been given by the national mainstream media for the last God knows how long. No one is giving this team any shit for not winning, even though they like traded all those picks to get CMC. They traded, they're getting rid of cap space, and they have so many guys that are about to become free agents.
Oh dear Lord, Nick Bosa's contract.
I won't. The only point in which I am willing to give the 49ers the benefit of the doubt is the fact that they had literally no healthy quarterbacks in the NFC title game.
Yeah.
Everybody was hurt. What are you going to do?
Nick Bosa's going to get $30 million a year.
I can't diss them for existing because all their quarterbacks are hurt.
Yeah. I can't either.
This is just such a disgusting trade because there's no... You need to get a first-round pick out of it. You have to.
At least a second-round pick.
No. First-round pick. Minimum.
Yeah. And you didn't even do that.
Second-round pick out of that, I'm pissed. Like, you have to get a first.
Yeah. Especially for that contract.
God.
I mean, let's look at the rest of the NFC East, too. The Giants could be better.
I see the Giants improving.
I see the Giants winning the NFC East. Fight me. I will fight you on this.
They're in the same division as the Eagles.
Okay, here's a debate with Philadelphia.
I don't know what you're about to say.
Look at the schedule that the Eagles played last year. Dog shit.
49ers, too.
Exactly.
Their schedule was miserable.
The schedule was god-awful.
And it's like, schedule or not, though, I mean, going 16-1, that's no accident. And
14-3, but
why did I think 16-1? Jeez, I'm off the group today.
Probably because you're thinking about Jalen Ramsey and what the Dolphins' record might be.
It could be 16-1. Oh my God, Dolphins fans are about to be insufferable. I said
no. Here's the problem, though. I can sympathize with South Florida fans because they are always miserable. They are literally miserable because the Dolphins haven't done shit in 30 years. The Miami Heat are their only insufferable team because the Panthers are shit. I mean, maybe, but like,
are we going to talk about hockey at all? By the way,
thank you. I was waiting for that.
Going, but like, I do want to get some hockey talk in there because Jonathan Quick got traded since we last talked.
Yeah. Okay, so I was trying to get you on when Jonathan Quick got traded, but that never happened, so here we go. And you have you are a diehard Kings fan.
I want to finish the football talk first, but yeah, we can.
I think we're finished with football talk. I think we're finished with that.
Okay. So yeah, Jalen Ramsey trade terrible, and if the Rams don't sign anybody, then they've resigned themselves to the. I don't even know what the name is for it, but like just mediocrity for the next few years.
Could be a blessing and a curse. You never know.
I don't know. This I will say this is not how you build the sport in LA. You want to get butts in seats. You want to have the big name players showing up, and with Leonard Floyd gone, which is terrible, with Bobby Wagner gone after only 1 year, which is again terrible.
Well,
like, and now Jalen Ramsey's out. Like all your big ticket players that you were like pushing.
Well, the Wagner one I get because he might end up going back to Seattle, is what I heard. Especially with the injuries and the questions they have at inside linebacker, he might be going back there.
My point is, though, like he's still leaving the Rams, and like it screws the Rams over, and it's like that's not how you grow the game. That's not how you want to get to a point where you can be the team that's outnumbering 49ers fans in your own stadium for once. Mm-hmm. You don't want it to be constant 50-50 crowds. You just don't.
You don't want it to be like Raiders, Chiefs, and three-quarters Chiefs fans in Allegiant Stadium in Vegas.
Yeah, you don't want that.
You don't want that.
This is the opposite direction, and it's like, yeah, you won the Super Bowl, but LA is like deeply rooted to these teams who have won. Like I think the Lakers, 17 titles. The Dodgers have won a lot, only 7, but that's still more than 4. The Rams only have 4. They've only had 2 in this city.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Hey, the Kings traded quick.
They did.
Off topic.
On to the hockey talk, I guess. The Jonathan Quick trade, it's one of those harsh realities of sports type deal, and I guess I can view it the same way with the Rams too, but really any team. It's like the sad reality is that your favorite players aren't going to be playing for your favorite teams forever. I already experienced this when Dustin Brown retired last offseason.
Yeah.
It's like...
Why did he get a statue, by the way?
Dustin Brown was the first King in history to touch the Stanley Cup. He absolutely deserves a statue. What he did for this team, the way he spearheaded this team as captain to both Stanley Cups.
Fair point. Okay, I'll shut up now.
You should shut up.
Okay, listen. Okay, in my defense, hold on. The Islanders have like 4 dudes, or like 4 or 5 dudes they can build a statue in front of.
Probably, but like, yeah. No.
In my defense,
but like, you're not a Kings fan. Your opinion doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't. It was just a genuine question.
Yeah. I deal with that shit like on Twitter all the time. I see people who are like, "Oh, Dustin Brown, he doesn't deserve a statue. He's washed up." Like, your opinion doesn't matter if you're not a Kings fan. The Jonathan Quick trade was bearable for about 24 hours because Korpisalo is insane. He's played 2 games for the Kings already. He's made some crazy saves.
I love that trade for Korpisalo. I really did.
Him and Phoenix Copley together, that is a scary duo, honestly. Like, don't sleep on those guys in net.
No.
Also, Gavrikov has a goal already for the Kings. He's playing very well defensively.
And here is where you lose your shit.
Where I lose my shit is 24 hours later, Jonathan Quick gets traded again because the Columbus Blue Jackets are the team that got Quick. They did not want him. They only made this trade happen for cap space, and they immediately traded Quick. They wanted to trade Quick to a team that could contend. And of all the teams they could have possibly traded him to, he goes to the fucking Golden Knights. It's already bad enough that Jonathan Quick isn't going to be finishing his career with the Kings. It's already bad enough that the Kings blindsided him making this trade. But to have that other team that he plays for be the Golden Knights, how is it possible that an expansion team has pissed me off more in the last like 4 or 5 years they've been in existence than the Ducks and Sharks have.
Mm-hmm.
In all of their like 20 plus years of existence. Both of those teams aren't as old as like the Kings or many other teams in the league. But the Golden Knights aren't even 10 years old. They've already pissed me off more. Like, and it's absolutely horrible that how much the NHL has like catered to them.
Mm-hmm.
They're starting to talk about Jonathan Quick like this year, like he's a Vezina winning goalie. I'm sorry, but like Jonathan Quick has been bad for most of the year.
Thank you.
Maybe this trade rejuvenates him just a little bit, but I guarantee you, like he just has not been having a good year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like he deserved a lot better than for the franchise goalie he is, and for everything he's done.
Hall of Famer.
Years, he deserved a lot better than being told after a game at like 10 o'clock at night, hey, by the way, we just traded you to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Apparently, according to like the rumors, he didn't even want to go there. Like he refused to report to Columbus.
Yeah.
He flew back to LA with the team and then waited for them to trade him to the Golden Knights.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part that I'm heated about. I'm not heated about the trade because unfortunately it had to happen. That was all the Kings were missing was stability and that. Like Copley was one half of the equation, but when Quick was playing, he just wasn't playing at the level that he should have been playing at. And it's like, you know, Cal Peterson's in the show. He still has to kind of rediscover his game. You can't be like Copley's a really solid goalie, but I don't know if he's ever like had to like carry the load as a starter like this before. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's never had to deal with this kind of thing before. So it's been a bunch of disgustingness seeing him play for the Golden Knights. But I'm not going to pretend that the Kings didn't get better from this trade.
Well, you're in the same boat as I was for the Islanders like years ago when Tavares left.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, Toronto is a blood-hated rival. He wanted to go home. We booed his ass delightfully when he came back.
I still love watching that video every once in a while.
I was at that game and I'll never forget it. So delightful. But then it's like, listen, after a little bit, you're grateful for the 15 years he was given to your city, especially as, you know, one of the greatest players in franchise history.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that I'm not grateful for Quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I said it all throughout this season that Jonathan Quick always has been and always will be the greatest goalie in Kings history.
Not even close.
No, it's not close. They've had some good names too, like Rogie Vachon and whatnot, but like Jonathan Quick is easily the greatest goalie this team has ever had.
2 rings.
That being said, his best days are behind him.
But yeah.
Maybe he goes on a run with Vegas this year, but it's not going to last past this year.
No. No.
It is not. And it's like, you know, maybe he sticks around for another year or two to kind of mentor the goalies, but like when Robin Leonard's healthy again.
Here's my problem with Leonard, though. He has a neck injury.
Yeah.
Robin Leonard has a neck injury, and Thompson's been really good for Vegas. He's been awesome with the Knights when he's healthy.
But he's hurt.
He's hurt. So, can we talk Metropolitan Division, please, and the dogfight that is this division? Please.
Yeah, let's do it.
Please.
Let's do it.
Dude, what are the chances the Bruins lose in the first round?
I was just joking about that with people earlier today.
My boss is a Bruins fan.
How fucking funny would it be?
My boss is a Bruins fan, and I told him, dude, if the Bruins somehow lose in the first round this year, I'm going to laugh in your face. Because it could happen.
So first of all, we should probably point out that they've already clinched.
Yeah, we talked about that last segment with John.
Yeah, they are a playoff team. They're the first playoff team this season.
Shocker.
Stunner. I actually want to look at these standings really quick, league-wide, too. Like, we can keep talking.
Carolina and New Jersey are tied in the Metropolitan Division, to my knowledge. The Rangers are right behind them, and the Islanders are right behind them, too.
I think the Devils peaked too early. They're still a good team, but, like, they went on their, like...
Fraud.
13-game win streak.
Fraud. Frauds. Devils are frauds. I'll bet on it. The Devils are frauds.
They traded for, though. Didn't they make it... Or was that Carolina?
Timo Meier.
Timo Meier, yeah. That's a steal. I love that trade. Get Timo Meier the fuck out of the Pacific. Get him out.
Remember the Visa commercial, the MasterCard commercial? Hockey rivalries are tough. I think it was Visa or some shit. But I can't wait for the playoffs. I really can't.
Me neither.
Oh, so exciting.
Looking at the wild card standings. Right
The Islanders and Pittsburgh are tied for the wild card. That I know.
There are so many teams that, you know, I've said it before too. I really don't like what hockey's becoming. It kind of feels like it's turning into a one-man show sport almost for a team. And I feel like that's not enough.
No.
It's like for some teams, like they're going on these crazy regular season runs, but it's just not enough. Like Boston's not a one-man show. And like we joke about them being out in the first round, but realistically they should make a pretty good run.
Yeah, they should.
You know what team I feel like is going to be screwed unless they pick it up like right here and right now? Are the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah.
Because they have, I'm about to diss Kirill Kaprizov again. They have no offense outside of Kirill Kaprizov, who is
Thank you.
He's a stat patter. That's what I figured out about him. All he worries about is scoring a shit ton and padding his own stats with assists when he's not scoring. All those elevated numbers, and Minnesota's a fringe playoff team, and that's not even mentioning the fact that Kaprizov is now out with injury. He is going to miss 3 to 4 weeks because somebody jumped on top of him while he was doing the splits, and his legs, it didn't look good. It was pretty bad. I hate Kaprizov, but like you never want to see anyone get hurt, so that sucks, obviously. If he's going to lose, I'd rather he lose on the ice. That being said, now with Minnesota not having that, like, they're going to have to really rely on Fleury and Gustafsson, because if they can't pick it up soon, Colorado's right back in the hunt. Winnipeg is right back in the hunt.
Mm-hmm.
They are a catchable team if they don't win this next stretch of games. Like,
indeed.
Stretch run now, and if they don't win enough, and their one source of any kind of offense doesn't show up, I say doesn't show up like he's not hurt, but like if like that's what it comes down to, these teams are going to catch them. Don't sleep on Winnipeg.
I agree.
Connor Hellebuyck gets hot.
I agree. Do you think... Here's a great question for you. Here's a phenomenal question. Because I think Mike Sullivan's a very good coach, but what say you Pittsburgh misses the playoffs somehow? By like a few games. Does he get fired?
I don't know.
Because they're in a weird spot. Pittsburgh's in a you're screwed a special kind of category of the you're screwed bracket. Because you got 3 or 4 dudes that are close to 40.
Yeah.
Making close to $7 million a year.
I keep seeing Jeff Carter trending. It's funny.
Jeff Carter, what does he have? A $7 million contract
I don't
per year?
know.
Sidney Crosby, I get, but here's where it gets... Evgeny Malkin should have left. Chris Letang should have left. This is the problem the Blackhawks were in, where you hold on to the old boys for too long.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's going to run into the same problem.
LA ran into that problem.
Yeah, your prime example. The Kings ran into that problem.
It's just like you can't.
I get what they're doing because, Laura, that's the system.
But like at some point, it just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, like look at Chicago. They said fuck it and traded Kane to the Rangers.
Chicago's tired of it.
And then Jonathan Toews might end up retiring.
The Blackhawks, for a start, I should say, are in like a full-on rebuild right now.
As they fucking should have been.
I should mention before anything else, I feel awful for Jonathan Toews. Long COVID is not a joke, and it sucks that he's dealing with that.
Yeah. He might retire.
Yeah, I honestly think there's a good chance he retires.
Which sucks.
It does. It's like totally out of his control whether he gets it or not. It's like, it's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I say that not knowing whether he got like vaccinated or anything, but like what I mean is out of his control is like the long COVID stuff. Like you can't do anything to like, you don't get a choice.
Yeah.
I don't want to come on here and like spread misinfo.
No, you're fine, dude. Listen. If I end up getting screamed at, then I get screamed at. I don't. It's not you. But
you know what needed to happen though? That happened a few days ago was the Flyers firing their GM.
Oh no! Fletcher got fired finally.
Yeah. You didn't know?
No!
Yeah, he's out.
Yes! Finally!
The Flyers finally did a thing.
Ownership! What took you so long?
That
How did he stay GM for that long?
I don't know. I really don't know. You see how stagnant they've been for God knows how long. They haven't done anything in like
years.
Like what? I'm trying to literally remember the last. Is it true that the last like deep run that this team has made?
2010.
2010 Stanley Cup Final.
2010 Stanley Cup Final where they lost in 6 to Chicago. Yes.
Has it really been that long?
Yes.
What?
Have not made the conference final since then.
What are the Flyers doing?
Well, I sympathize with Philadelphia sports fans to a certain degree. When it comes to the Flyers and when it comes to the Phillies and the Eagles, they know what they're talking about.
I sympathize when it comes to the Phillies and the Flyers.
I sympathize when it comes to the Eagles and the Flyers. I really do.
Not the Eagles.
Not that... depends. But, like, yeah. But, like, my point is, Philadelphia has been in a dumpster fire and a half for the better part of 15 years. Other than occasionally, like, 2 or 3 years where they're, like, really good. Mm-hmm. They made the mistake of hiring Alain Vigneault one year.
I don't know what to make of Vigneault. Like, it seems like he's a guy who players like, from what I know. But
he's one of those... I can tell you this. He's one of those coaches, because John could speak to this. He's one of those coaches where you know he's going to pull something out of his ass every now and then. He's going to pull a 55-win team out of his ass every now and then. True. But when it comes to the playoffs, he doesn't adjust.
Exactly. Like, what I was going to say is...
He's the Marty Schottenheimer of the NHL.
At the end of the day, it's results-based, and he has, like, almost no results.
He's the Marty Schottenheimer of the NHL.
He was... I remember he was the coach of Vancouver in like 2012.
That Canucks team in 2011. Oh,
that team should have won the Stanley Cup.
Oh,
I actually hate that they didn't win the Stanley Cup that year.
Oh, that Canucks team. Oh my God!
Because it would have made 2012 that much more satisfying that we just
destroyed.
in the first round.
Vancouver. Vancouver that year was so good. I will never forget Alex Burrows doing an empty net wraparound on Tim Thomas in Game 2.
God, that goal was hilarious. That's the funny thing about hockey is like when you wait that long between the third period and overtime in the playoffs, they do a full intermission between the third period and overtime, and then
Tim Thomas does that
terrible goal in like the first 30 seconds of overtime. Like
I will make an argument that should be made. Boston should have won the Stanley Cup against St. Louis.
Yeah.
And they should have lost to Vancouver.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you.
I feel like
Listen, I love that Blues team. I loved that Blues team.
Not that the Blues didn't deserve to win that year, but Jordan Binnington absolutely stole that series.
Jordan Binnington was a man possessed that year.
You remember that save that he had like near the end of game 7? That save was cup winning. It was cup winning, and then you had the Marchand change. That was funny as fuck.
Here's okay. Before the playoffs begin in what, a month or two?
Something like that, yeah.
Who do you got win the cup?
Ooh.
Who do you got win the cup?
I mean, ooh.
Indeed.
It's tempting not to say Boston. It's really tempting not to say Boston.
I'm not saying Boston. I don't think they win it.
It's
really hard.
Had just such a dominant regular season, and then in the playoffs, it's just not there. Like hockey is really, truly the one sport where anything can happen in the playoffs.
It's really hard because the President's Trophy is cursed. I explained to Katie exactly what that trophy means, and she's like, "What's wrong with having the best record in hockey?" And I turned to her and I was like, "Oh, you don't know. You don't know."
It's like you do realize that that's not the Stanley Cup, right?
Like, you don't know. And then I told her, I was like, hold on, the encyclopedia comes out. Since 1988, only 3 Stanley Cup winners have won the Stanley Cup and the President's Trophy at the same time. Most recently, Chicago in 2013, which is the Mickey Mouse Cup.
You think Chicago in 2013 was a Mickey Mouse Cup? I mean...
Yes.
That was a weird season,
yes.
to be fair.
Yes. Strike year.
Yeah,
make that a full season, what happens?
I will say, though, that they also did go on, like, what, a 24-game streak without losing a regulation. That's kind of impressive, regardless.
Yeah, and then people say the Miami Heat had a better team that year. Fuck you, Stephen A. Smith. By the way, can I rant on this before we end this segment real quick? Who the hell is Stephen A. Smith to say that hockey is not a real sport?
Fuck Stephen A. Smith.
Who the hell is this man to say that?
I've stopped caring about what he said a long time ago.
Listen, I love Stephen A., New Yorker, love him. But when Michael Kay said the Rangers are the closest New York team to winning a championship, I was like, thank you. Because the Yankee and Met fan base has become insufferable. I have slowly become one with the Seattle Mariners for shits and giggles because I cannot stand New York baseball anymore. I can't. I genuinely can't.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Thank you. And then for Michael K to say, like, oh, the Rangers are the closest team in New York to win a championship, and Stephen to say, oh, please, that's not a real sport. I was like, I'm going to drive my ass to the Seaport District of New York City and slap you across the face repeatedly with a stack of ham.
With a stack of ham, that's rather specific.
With a pound of ham, specifically honey glazed.
Ooh.
I made a sandwich. I got a deli sandwich, which was a honey glazed ham, turkey, American cheese, BLT with mayo on a hero. It was fucking phenomenal.
I know that U Stadium has a sandwich now. Apparently, have you heard that?
I do know that. I do know that now.
It's somewhere on their Twitter.
It's somewhere in the Bronx.
I don't even know like what the status.
I'm not going all the way to the Bronx for fucking sandwich. That's a 2-hour drive for me.
Yeah.
That's like an hour, 2 hours for me. Fuck that. Jack, if you ever come to Long Island, if you ever come to New York, stay on Long Island, please. Do not go to the city.
I don't plan to.
Please don't.
I've considered it before, but I don't think I plan to.
Please come to Long Island. The beaches here are nice.
You need to go to a Kings game at UBS Arena.
Actually, the funny thing I mentioned that, me and John, because the Giants host Seattle this year in MetLife Stadium, we're going to a game. We're going to that game.
That would be pretty fun.
Fucking phenomenal.
I know MetLife is kind of a dump, but...
Okay. Last one before we end this one. Nick treats MetLife Stadium too harshly. It's not that bad.
I mean...
He has never seen Nassau Coliseum, has he?
I don't think he has.
Okay, here's the problem with Nassau Coliseum. Nassau Coliseum was a dump. An absolute shithole of a building.
Joe Louis Arena?
Joe Louis, that's Detroit, but like...
I know.
That's Detroit. That's unfair. But, like, it was a dump of an arena, Nassau was. But it was our dump. And we treated it like home. Okay? I understand.
I really do.
I understand you shared your little brother to the Giants. But for God's sakes, Giant Stadium and... before they tore it down to become MetLife, was a dump. Was worse. I don't want to hear it.
Like, that people felt that way about. Like, look at the freaking Raiders.
Look at ODOT. Look at Alameda Coliseum. Look at Alameda Coliseum. Look at that building. You want to talk about MetLife Stadium being the worst stadium in the entire NFL? Look at the Oakland Coliseum and explain to me how the Raiders were there for that long.
Even with the ridiculous fan support.
Thank you. Listen, I love Raider Nation. I do. I love Raider Nation.
Nah, fuck them. Fuck them. I don't.
Except for Jack.
Like Raider Nation, but at the same time, you can't deny the fan support.
You cannot deny the Raider fan base support.
They're passionate about their team, but like.
I don't want to hear a peep about how MetLife Stadium is a dump. It is not that bad.
Stop. Also, Raiders fans, stop talking about how you're an LA team. You're not. You're just not.
You're Oakland. God. You're Oakland. Shut up.
They should be Oakland. I agree with that, but they just have to.
The fact oh my God, that's enough of that. All right, Jack, I will see you around. I'm getting a headache. I've been dealing with migraines for like the last week.
I'm going to have to go deal with the reality that Jalen Ramsey's no longer on the Rams. Jonathan Cook is on the Golden Knights.
Go get some In-N-Out Burger. Go do that.
It sucks, but you know what? The championship is worth it.
Go get some In-N-Out Burger, and then call it a day. That's what I would do if I were in your shoes.
It's fine. But I have other places that choose it, but that is a discussion for another time.
That's a good point. All right. We'll see you around, Jack.
Later, Ian.